Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So you remember the other day when I said I had a bad week worth of luck? Well, it's time to change the water pump. PJ's has sent me one, free of charge, couriered it over, so I've received it now. So it's time to change the water pump on the Cosy. So I thought I'd do a tiny video, not full in depth, but a tiny video of how I'm going to change it like. So I've started by removing the cam belt cover. I've removed the intake pipe. I asked a few lads on the Cosworth Facebook page, and they said it's best to remove the thermostat housing and the water pump at the same time. The water pump's driven by the auxiliary belt, so it's not a massive big issue. So I've just let both radiator pipes that go to the thermostat housing go, and caught some of the coolant, but I'm going to put fresh stuff in anyway. I usually run blue stuff in this. Is that right? Is that what everyone else uses? Like, every time I've looked at video, like pictures and stuff and information, it's always said the blue coolant. So anyway, let's get on with it, eh? So there was three 8mm cap heads to remove the thermostat housing, and then I'm undone the Jubilee clips on them two pipes. I'm open. I can twist them out when I undo the water pump. So I'm just going to get on with undoing the water pump bolts. So guys, the water pump's off now. I'm just going to get that gasket off. There was three 8mm cap heads which hold the thermostat housing on, and then there was three different size bolts which hold the water pump on. Quite easy enough to get off. Not very good access, but quite easy enough to get off. I found that I had to remove the pulley to get to the bolts on the water pump. So I'll just build up the new water pump now. Alright guys, so the new one's in place now. I joined the thermostat to the new water pump while it was on the floor, and then I used a tiny bit of silicone grease to hold the gasket on the back of the water pump as I placed it on. The thermostat housing had a new O-ring as well fitted. I found it easier putting the bottom pipe on the water pump first, before bolting the water pump and the thermostat housing onto the block. That was the easiest way I found it, like. So I'm just gonna make sure that all the Jubilee clips are all tight now, and then I'll put them two pipes to the thermostat housing back on, and I'll have to bolt the new pulley on the water pump, and then put the auxiliary belt on. So I've tightened all the Jubilee clips and made sure they were more secure. I'm just going to put the intake hose back on the turbo, tighten that Jubilee clip up, and put a few covers on the engine bay. Then I'll fill it up with coolant, and we'll have to run it up another day because it's late tonight now. But it wasn't much of a too of a hard job, quite fiddly like, but it stopped me, you know what I mean, like a couple of hours, you know what I mean, to do it properly and not rush, you know what I mean, to have a little chill while I'm doing it, enjoy it and do a bit of filming. Though everything always takes longer when you've got to do a bit of filming, like, but it wouldn't be a job that I'd be scared to do again, you know what I mean, not while it's in place. Last time the water pump was fitted, it was fitted when the engine was on the floor, you know what I mean, out of the car, so everything's dead accessible to fit then, isn't it, you know what I mean? So, alright guys. So I filled the coolant level up and put the heater blowers on full, on hot, and let the car idle for a bit. Sometimes you have to hold the car with a bit of throttle just to get the water to spin around, and then what you're just looking for is getting rid of the air out of the coolant tank. Notice the air bubbles coming out of the expansion tank. That's why I leave the cap on. What I'll do is let this run and let the car do a heat cycle, you know, where the fans kick in a few times, just to make sure the coolant levels are the right level. What I'm after seeing at this point is that the heater blowers are blowing really hot and there's no air coming out of the expansion tank. What I'd usually do is let it run up for a while and then let the car cool down and check the coolant level once the car's cooled down. You can't beat a Cosy idling on the drive, can you? I love it. Now I'm happy there's no more air coming out of the expansion tank. I'll put the car away and I'll check the coolant level in the morning. Alright guys, thanks very much.